our report and started issuing reports, as well as the IEBC issued an admonition
yes.
to state officers. So what we then noticed was a trend where they started changing number plates and removing number plates. So I think there's quite a bit of material there that is held both by the Commission on the Administration of Justice as well as the IEBC, and I do think that they both need to go back to that material, because one of the things that we talked about was also the prosecution, some of the work that needs to be done
yes.
by the IEBC, working in tandem, I think, with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, as well as some of these other state bodies, the police,
yeah.
Is the prosecution
yes.
of people who had been found to have engaged.
But nobody was
in those
prosecuted.
violations.
Nobody will be prosecuted.
Nobody was prosecuted.
And that's where the that's where the laxity is.
So what do we do? Because they're going to do it, they've been doing it all the time.
Well, the nice thing about criminal offences, unlike civil law,
there's no time.
There isn't a time bar. So if they have, they still have that evidence. I hope
later,
they haven't destroyed it. They should go and act on that evidence.
Okay, there was a lot of shenanigans on the election day itself. Botched transmission of results, you know, the whole controversy around that, which seemed to have tainted the validity of the verdict of the IEBC. What did you find around that? Election day, transmission of results, and of course terminating in the announcement of the winners.
So that's one of the things that we feel that the IEBC needs to go, that's where they need to do the forensic. There were too many of these mistakes, so they need to get to the bottom of why did it happen, why was it so consistent, and why was it so en masse. Because, you know, if you have one or two incidences, that's one thing. Having incidences of that volume raises another question. You know, it's a, you know, there is laxity there and negligence, and, you know, one cannot be faulted for beginning to think that this may have been deliberate. There were issues around the procurement of the BVR kits, and, you know, all those questions. So those that were involved, and, you know, we know there's a case that's already going on around some of those procurements. That case needs to be pursued to its logical conclusion, but they need to do their own internal investigations into that, and I think we as a public must demand that those investigations happen. There is the fact that there's the issue of the test runs. They actually attempted to do a test run before on some of these, and their test run
did not succeed.
Did not succeed.
Yes.
So that should have told them something.
That's one of the things the media is blamed. The media was there when the test runs were done, but they never disclosed.
Yes, yes.
That's what I hear.
They went big on it. Yeah.
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 Right. They didn't say it failed.
Yeah.
Exactly. So these are some of, and I don't think it's just the media. You know, we also in civil society got involved in that conspiracy of silence in the pursuit of calm.
Yeah.
So it's not just a critique of the media. We ourselves, I think, as a public, were scared.
Yeah.
And maybe now, is, you know, this is a good time again when it's not necessarily tense to just go back and deal with those things.
Yeah.
So they don't.
Of course, as we come to the end of this discussion, you know, what would be the biggest thing that is in this report and that will inform this country going forward, in your own assessment? I mean, obviously, it's a voluminous report, 100 plus pages,
Yes.
looking at different elements of that electoral process. 1 year later, here are people now looking into the 2017 election. What are you advising? What are you asking of which institutions to be done?
First of all, my request of all of us, because I think the first comment was that, you know, 2007 we didn't receive the results, 2013 we didn't receive the results. This culture in Kenya, where something happens and then we just want to continue. You know, we're afraid to look back. There is nothing wrong with making mistakes. It's important, you know, to go back, because,
yes,
you know, before you have a success, you may fail many times. So
what do you mean we didn't receive results?
There was a comment about disputed results, and, you know, I had talked earlier about the poll results for
polling station
2013. Exactly.
Okay.
So I think what basically the person was alluding to was that this has happened before. Nothing happened in 2007.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened. So when you have people doing something,
yeah,
and they do something that is wrong,
yeah,
and they have a responsibility, and we as a nation don't hold them accountable, then
yeah,
we will continue to make that mistake and we will continue to suffer for it. So I'm speaking in a very general, in a very general term. I think the general lesson, because there are many there are many groups of people that will need to work on this. There are various actors.
Yeah.
So I think we would, of the IEBC, like that audit. We would like the actual results to be released.
So how do you make IEBC do it?
Well,
You have written your report, you have given to them, they'll put it on the shelf and forget it.
no, we are
What
going to
happened?
share it with them. We will then follow up with them and find out what they have done with the report.
Okay.
And at that, beyond that stage, then we will see,
All right.
what measures to take.
Okay.
I think we would like also the registrar person of
Political
parties for the issue with respect to that office to be addressed. It's absolutely crucial that we have a registrar of political parties who is appointed, that is, that first of all is eligible for that office and that is appointed in the proper way, that is compliant with the law.
Where is this report found? Is it universally accessible? Are you going to serialize it anywhere? How do people who are watching you get this report?
It's available on our website. We will also be making some hard copies available.
Website, which website is that? You may just need to say that.
www.khrc.or.ke. Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for coming, Atsango.
Thank you.
We would have had more time to talk about other things and how the constitution implementation is going, because you are the vice chair of this document that is creating chaos, but maybe we'll have you another time to look at that. There you have it, 1 year later after the 2013 elections and the controversies that surrounded those elections. The report of the findings of the Kenya Human Rights Commission on that election are out there in the report, Democratic Paradox. You can get a hold of it. It's on the website, khrc.or.
I hope I'm right.
Search Kenya Human Rights Commission. You'll go to the website. The report is there. Has a very interesting read. And have a good day as we mark 1 year after the elections.